We spend our entire lives racing against a clock that doesn't exist. We are told that if we don't hit certain milestones by a certain age, that we have failed. We are told that if we don't find love by 30, if we don't start a business by 25, or if we don't retire by 60, that we are behind. We carry the weight of the past, the missed opportunities, the wrong turns, and the fear that we are running out of time. But what if the single greatest source of suffering, this feeling of being either too late or too early, is nothing but an illusion? What if there was a philosophy, forged in the blood and dust of ancient battlefields, that could free you from the shackles of time? We are going to dissect a quote from one of history's greatest emperors, Marcus Aurelius. A quote so simple, yet so profound, it has the power to completely rewire how you perceive your life, your failures, and your potential. We will explore the Stoic concept of chronos versus kairos, and by the end of this video, you will realize that you are exactly where you are supposed to be. Not late, not early, but right on time. To understand the weight of these words, we must first understand the man who spoke them. Marcus Aurelius Antoninus was the emperor of Rome from 161 to 180 AD. He was the last of the 5 good emperors, but his reign was far from peaceful. He spent a significant portion of his rule fighting wars along the Danube frontier, defending the empire against invading tribes. He wrote his famous work, Meditations, not as a published book for the masses, but as a personal diary. It was a private journal of self-improvement. He was writing to himself, reminding himself how to be a better person, how to deal with the stress of leadership, and how to face his own mortality. He wasn't a philosopher in an ivory tower. He was a soldier in the mud, a leader carrying the weight of millions. When Marcus spoke about time, he wasn't speaking from a place of privilege or ease. He was speaking from the edge of the abyss. Every day could have been his last. Every battle could have been his final stand. In that context, his perspective on time wasn't abstract theory. It was a survival mechanism. Whatever time you choose is the right time, not late, not early. This quote is often misinterpreted as a kind of fatalistic laziness, a suggestion that we should just sit back and let things happen. But that is the opposite of Stoicism. Marcus was not telling you to be passive. He was telling you to stop judging the timing of your actions based on arbitrary external standards. He was waging war against the tyranny of the arbitrary. Let's break this down linguistically and philosophically. The first part of the quote deals with the past. When you say, "I should have done this earlier," or "I missed my chance," you are living in a ghost. The past is gone. It is inert. It has no power over you except the power you give it through regret. Marcus argued that the right time is not a fixed point in the past. You cannot choose a time that has already passed. So to lament that you chose poorly in the past is to waste the only resource you actually have, the present moment. Secondly, when we say, "It's too early," or "I'm not ready yet," we are usually projecting a fear of failure into the future. We believe we need more time to prepare. We believe the conditions need to be perfect. We defer action until a mythical better time arrives. But the Stoics knew that the future is indifferent to our plans. Fate is an active force. If you wait for the perfect moment, you will never act. The right time is a decision, not a discovery. It is an act of will. The ancient Greeks actually had 2 words for time, chronos and kairos. Chronos is chronological, sequential time. It's the ticking of the clock. It's linear, it's quantitative. It's the time that makes us feel old. Kairos is qualitative time. It is the right moment. It is the opportune time. It is the moment of action. Kairos is not measured by the hour hand on a clock. It is measured by appropriateness and effectiveness. Marcus Aurelius is telling us that chronos is irrelevant if you are acting in kairos. You can be 60 years old and start a new career. That is kairos. You can be 20 and choose to settle down. That is kairos. You cannot measure the rightness of an action by chronos, the date on the calendar, but only by the alignment of your action with virtue and nature. Now let's drag this ancient wisdom into the modern chaos. Why is this quote so desperately needed today? Because we live in the age of comparison culture. We are constantly bombarded with highlight reels. We see a 16-year-old making millions online. We see a 25-year-old CEO. We see people buying houses while we are still renting. The algorithmic nature of social media feeds us a distorted view of reality. It creates a delusion that everyone is succeeding except us. This leads to what psychologists call time anxiety. We look at our lives like a race where we are losing. We feel behind. But let's apply a little Stoic logic to the concept of behind. Behind whom? Exactly. There is no finish line. There is no single schedule that everyone is supposed to follow. The concept of late requires a universal standard, a universal timeline. But nature doesn't have a universal timeline. An oak tree grows slower than a sunflower. Does that mean the oak tree is late? No. It means it has a different nature. You have a different nature than the person you are comparing yourself to. Different values, different skills, different obstacles, and different strokes of luck. To judge your journey by their timeline is to commit a logical fallacy. It is to ignore the fundamental nature of your own existence. Marcus might say, you are trying to be a sunflower when you are an oak. The oak doesn't envy the sunflower's speed because it knows its purpose is to endure for centuries. What is your purpose? If you don't know your purpose, then of course you will be anxious about time. You are just drifting. Let's delve deeper into the second part of the quote. Not early. One of the biggest traps we fall into is the readiness trap. We think, I'll start my business when I have more money. I'll ask for a promotion when I'm more qualified. I'll start that project when I have more free time. We are waiting to be ready. But what does ready actually mean? It's usually a euphemism for fear. We confuse fear with prudence. We think we are being careful, but we are actually being paralyzed. Stoic philosophy teaches that we should only focus on what is within our control. You cannot control the outcome of your action. You cannot control whether you have enough luck or enough time. What you can control is your effort. You can control the initiation of the action. By waiting to be ready, you are not saving time. You are wasting the time you have. Marcus Aurelius says, whatever time you choose is the right time. This implies that the choosing is the crucial part. It is the act of selection. It is the act of assertion. When you choose to act now, you transform that moment into the right time. You don't find the right time, you create it. I want to introduce a concept here that I call the fallacy of the perfect path. We often think that if we just made the right choice, we would have avoided suffering. We think there is a parallel universe out there where we took the other job, married the other person, or moved to the other city, and everything is perfect. This is a delusion. Every path involves suffering. Every path involves pain and regret. The Stoics believed in amor fati, a love of fate. This doesn't mean you should be complacent with a bad situation. It means you should accept the path you are on as the only path. When Marcus says, whatever time you choose is the right time, he is telling you to stop second-guessing your past decisions. The decision you made in the past was the best decision you could make with the information you had at that time. To wish you had started earlier is to wish you had been a different person. You weren't that person then. You are this person now. So choose your time now. Now let's get practical. How do you use this in your life today? I propose a 3-step exercise rooted in Stoic mindfulness. Step 1 is the virtue audit. Stop measuring your life by achievements like money, status, and things. Start measuring it by virtue, wisdom, justice, courage, temperance. If you are alive today and you are trying to be a better person than you were yesterday, you are succeeding. That is the only timeline that matters. Step 2 is the aging perspective. Think about your life from the perspective of the universe. You are a speck of dust on a speck of dust in an infinite universe. When you zoom out that far, the idea of being late to a job promotion or a relationship is laughably trivial. Let that perspective calm you. Step 3 is the fork in the road decision. Whenever you are faced with a decision and you are paralyzed by the timing, do this. Instead of asking, is it the right time? Ask, is it the right thing to do? If you know what the right thing is, the time is irrelevant. Act immediately. The action itself sanctifies the time. There is a deep existential peace that comes from accepting this quote. We are constantly in a state of becoming. We are always trying to get to the next thing. I'll be happy when I get the house. I'll be at peace when I get the partner. This is the tyranny of the future. Marcus Aurelius is telling you to shift from becoming to being. You are already there. You have arrived. The destination is not a point in the future. It is a state of mind in the present. You are exactly where you need to be to learn the lesson you need to learn. This doesn't mean you shouldn't plan. It means you shouldn't be emotionally attached to the timeline of those goals. Plan as if you will live forever, but act as if you will die today. It is in that tension, that paradox, that greatness is born. Marcus Aurelius spent his life facing death. He was surrounded by the chaos of war and the fragility of human life. Yet he was never in a hurry. He understood that the present moment is the only thing we own. Whatever time you choose is the right time, not late, not early. Take a deep breath. Look at your life. Look at where you are. Don't look at where you should be. Look at where you are right now. The fact that you are breathing means you have agency. You have the power to choose. Let go of the regret of yesterday. It is a heavy rock that does not belong in your backpack. Let go of the anxiety of tomorrow. It is a ghost that will always elude your grasp. Live in the kairos. Live in the moment of action. You are not behind. You are not early. You are exactly where you were meant to be, reading this, watching this, breathing this. The universe has no calendar. It only has now. Whatever time you choose is the right time, not late, not early.